G'day, this is Captainoob, and I've got one question. Can you solve a colossal problem with a hunting rifle? This slow thing with the bolt on the wrong side. Why can't we get mods to fix this already? I hate it so much. Also, it's got wrapping paper paint because this is the only time of year where I can do this. So I may as well use this paint because it might be the last time I ever see it or ever equip it on a hunting rifle. So legendary effects are bloodied, lucky, and also VATS Enhanced, which may be quick draw. It might be quick draw, but VATS Enhanced had the less action point costs back in Fallout 4, so we'll just stick with that. Got a calibrated receiver here, so basically the plan is to be a nerd rage special with a bunch of luck, critical savvy, and smashing out as many criticals as possible because damage reduction from Earl seems to be a little bit disrupted with VATS criticals. Very, very useful in getting any damage at him whatsoever. And with the rate of fire of this thing, we're going to need every single help we can get. It's got a rate of fire stat of 3. 3, damn it. Also, in Christmas spirit, I've got this red dress because there wasn't much else. I think there's like a Santa costume somewhere. Is that even on the Atom store right now? I don't particularly care enough to have a look at it. So, with it, we're doing 227 damage. We've also got this thing as a backup thing, so I don't die and we can pin Earl in place just to get him a little bit more well-behaved. We've got Rifleman, 3 of those, in fact, 9 points all up. We've got Ground Pounder, which, despite saying automatic rifles, it applies to the semi-automatic rifles as well. Gives me better hipfire accuracy and reload time. Not rechambering time, but we will be speeding up our rechambering time by using this thing in third person because first person because it just seems to be faster. So we lack situational awareness compared to usual, but it's okay. Tank Killer for smashing through some of his armor. He's got quite a lot of that. We've got the crits for the damage reduction, so just a little bit of armor going through. I would have probably gone with anti-armor lucky, but I've already done lots of them already, so we'll just grab a bloodied one out again, just for the big damage numbers, I suppose. And we've got 9 endurance because I actually originally had 4 points in gunsmith, but the hunting rifle doesn't actually need to fire a lot, so I've shifted them all to endurance, so we're a little bit more tanky than usual, not that it's super useful to us. We've also got Enforcer for crippling stuff, I already mentioned that. Covert Operative, and then also Adrenaline. Mr. Sandman for big sneak attack crit damage numbers, and then Serendipity so I can not take damage half of the time. And then Bloody Mess to increase the damage ever so slightly more. Better criticals and critical savvies smashing out criticals. We've got taking 1 for the team, so if we're in a team, someone hits us, we do more damage to them for a bit. 40% multiplicative, very good. Stacks with follow through, which is going to be used the entire video because why wouldn't we use the magical mosquito of damage to get things? I still don't know why exactly they chose a mosquito for it. They just did. But I think it's changed public opinions of mosquitoes greatly. Normally, the little blood-sucking bastards are annoying, but now they've got our backs. They give us some better damage. And we've also got Tenderizer as well, so we can utilize the shotgun to get 4 stacks of that for 40%. Add them all together, plus 120% multiplicative damage for 10 seconds. Unfortunately, this thing firing so slowly, we can't make a whole lot of good use out of that, but that's going to be the approach. So, I don't think there's any more to cover. I've got a bunch of unyielding armor, and it is asbestos lined, so I don't die under the fiery damage over time things from the ceiling, so that's good. And we'll get started. Alright, we're 30 seconds away from the start. Just checking my perks to see if I've got everything in the right place. Yep. Hopefully this endurance would mean I don't die all the time. Maybe. So there's a Wendigo spawn, 1060 on the crit, so we're getting massive crits. That's really good. But as you can tell, it takes a while for the hunting rifle to actually kill the thing. You can actually see the massive damage boost from follow through right there. 400 and almost 800 on the second shot there. So that's pretty good. But whilst we've got this excess adrenaline, we'll quickly sprint over. And then we'll pin Earl in place. Make sure we sneak just before we actually reach him. We've kind of activated the crit unnecessarily there, but both of his legs are pinned, so we'll start by shooting it in the head. And now I'm seeing 498 damage, which is quite impressive from a hunting rifle. So, if I think about this, I'm thinking we'll get something like possibly around the same time as a bow and arrow. The thing, I think, is slightly slower, but at least when I pull the trigger, I don't have to wait for the thing to get loaded. See, I think you can tap the trigger with a bow and just, like, fling the thing, like, 2 feet off the thing and still manage to connect it, but obviously you're going to miss out on a slight bit of damage. So I guess technology makes a little bit of sense here, and we had a big VAT streak just now. That's the kind of damage we're getting out of one VAT streak. It's not a very fast thing, but if we can keep up this assault, we can probably do really well. What I want to do is see if I can't get a couple of stacks of tenderizer just so I can get that. I don't know if you restack it or whether it's just like a stack that completely goes along and just maxes out itself eventually. But 485, definitely lacking that. And for some reason, he's pinned in place. Now, I've seen him move off his mark before, but I think if you cripple both of his legs before he gets up and starts moving, does that mean he's just stuck there? Because if that's the case, then we can make all of our first little sections very strong against Earl, because he won't be able to actually move. And we'll switch over to the shotgun now because he has moved, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Although he did stay there for a very long time, which I quite like indeed. There we go. Now, there's a couple of Wendigos about. There's one sitting in the middle there. Make sure we don't get hit. Another 485 with the crit. What I might do is quickly gather some adrenaline, and you'll see how fast a non-spec combat shotgun is versus Earl here. It's ludicrous. The non-spec combat shotgun so fast in comparison to this. But now we're getting just over 500. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Short-lived there. And let's just make sure he's crippled. If we do get hit, keep the combat shotgun on standby because it's got vampires prefix on it, so it'll heal us nice and good. A little bit dangerous to be sitting under him. Got away with it though, and almost got hit just then. But we can sort of sit in a place where he's not going to hit us anyway. I don't think I've taken any damage thus far, which is a shame because I'd really like to get the perks going to actually get me damage, but standing around him right now would be quite hazardous to my health. Let's just shut that Wendigo up. It's a shame that I can't switch weapons mid-VATS there, because I would have loved to keep that VATS gun through streak. He's almost dead. Let's pick up some more of these Wendigos, because I think we might as well use it. Whoops, a little bit too close. We're almost at the mutation threshold here, so that's good. 502, not bad, not bad. 151 non-crits, that's probably one of the stronger ones I've had. Did that hit me? That's the question, because I did see a little bit of radial blur, but no HP lost. Still hitting for 442. Might be advantageous for him to be moving around a little bit, because then I won't get distracted and die by his damage over time blobs, but I think he's way more predictable just sort of sitting there. Let's pick up this Wendigo, and unfortunately we got gun food onto that one, which is not worth it, and wouldn't matter because he would have mutated anyway. And he's on the move once again. Let's pin him in place. We've got 3 for 3 cripples there. Thanks, Enforcer. Such a good perk. Just at rank 1 too. 489 there. 142 non-crit. 489 again. Very consistently strong damage here. At least per shot. Not the fastest. I don't know if being in the slow juice will actually give you the taking one for the team bonus, but we can carry a bit of gun food into this one, so that's pretty good. Try to get a little bit closer so we aren't so penalized by that. He's moving again, so we simply... Oh, we might get stomped on here. Nope, he didn't see us. High agility, baby, that's why you want it. And if we can pin him there, he'll be stuck inside the flame zone, which is bad news for him. 64 there, not too bad. So it's kind of gonna be what it is. I don't think I need to explain myself that much at this point. So what's on my mind? What I got to talk about? Well, the YouTube algorithm for advertising is stupid because I keep getting Suzuki Swift ads, which is strange because A, I don't want no rice burner car, and B, many of the actresses in this ad, obviously a female. I kind of gave it away when I said actresses, but so he almost ran out of the arena. So they're advertising to a demographic that I don't belong to. I don't know where I may have gotten the cookies to actually make that happen, or maybe Suzuki's just trying to push their Swift out so mum and dad can buy little Susie one for Christmas because she got an A in her math test the other day. But that's a thing, and I don't want it. Don't want Suzuki ads. It got me thinking, like, what are you going to do with a Suzuki Swift from this year in, like, 20 years' time? Is it going to hold its value? Probably not. Is it going to be regarded as a classic like old Commodores? No way. Old VK and VL Commodores, they go for a lot these days. There was one on site today. I wanted to see it. I kept looking at it because I wanted to buy it. I want to buy an old Commodore. So I'll have like a newer one and an older one because I can. I want to do it up, give it a nice new paint job, maybe put a big motor in it so it goes super fast. But the thing is though, I wouldn't daily drive it because obviously the new ones are a bit safer. I'd be much more likely to walk away from a crash if I was in my wagon. Not that I want to crash the thing, but if I had to crash this thing, I don't want to crash a car actually. Let's just avoid that talk and that train of thought. And if they keep going up in value, that's going to be good one day. Maybe it'll actually prove to be a good investment because for the most part, cars are a terrible investment. They're worth nothing in the end. Let's grab some adrenaline because the shotgun is so quick and so powerful with gun fu and just critting everything. Again, it's just standard non-spec gameplay there. I feel like the shotgun here would be faster than the hunting rifle is in this case, but we're not testing the shotgun here. But maybe that might be something for another video, just a completely unspec'd approach, maybe the lowest level possible. I reckon we'd still do a pretty good job against Earl. Maybe. Well, a fully spec'd non-thing, maybe. So, we're doing 500 if we're really good with the crits, which is pretty good. You can actually see his health bar go down fairly significantly when that happens, but I haven't brushed up on the numbers game here, and we actually went into the slow juice for a second there. That's okay. We can stim pack that off. But, how much health does this guy have? I want to say something like 32,000. I think that's the Scorched Beast Queen, right? But if we're hitting for about 500, I don't know if... I think the numbers are lying because Bethesda designed this game. But if it actually is hitting for 500, then it'd take like 64 or maybe 60 to 70 shots to actually drop this guy, which I don't know if that's super accurate to what we're seeing represented on the health bar, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's stomping about again. Let's have him a little bit off his leash for a while, see what we can do. I just don't want him to get super close to me. We're kind of vulnerable here in VATS, and most of the time I do play Colossal Problem and like doing shit in third person just so I've got situational awareness, right? But the hunting rifle is actually quicker in first person. If I was using the fire rate variant with the tuned receiver, you really notice it. Like, for reference, you get the same sort of rechamber time as this if you're using the fire rate legendary and the tuned receiver. But if you've ever played, let's say, Battlefield 4 and use like the Gold Magnum, it crank real fast. It's kind of like that in first person. So it's like Speed Demon doesn't affect it, or rather there's a bug in the game that doesn't allow the third person animation to speed up, which is probably the case. And we're coming in at a strong time in comparison to the bow. We had like 10 minutes left on the clock before the thing prematurely ended itself, which I think is neat. It is nice that we're actually able to get a little bit more in the slow juice. Probably stim pack that off so I don't die unnecessarily. Crits ready to go, 429. And, ooh, we're in the slow juice again. I think the stim pack's got us there. We may have actually just gotten hit. Nope. We are jumping around a bit as usual. We might just pin him because he's getting a bit rowdy right now. Stop right there. Wendigo scum. Because he's starting to spit the damage over time blobs around me, and it's cramping my style. We might get a cheeky little run of gun fu here. We'll see how we go. Alright, that's one. Actually, I don't think I get more than 10%, but I think we got a Grim Reaper sprint proc there, so we can carry this gun fu damage a little bit better as well as adrenaline, so it ain't nothing. Just got to make sure we don't exit that. So that's taking one for the team. That's active. We're going to miss a lot of this opportunity to use it through the reloading and the unfortunate stim pack usage. But 436. We don't seem to be able to use it as effectively as we did with the radium rifle, but I'm not taking any chances here. Because I've had pretty poor luck with Earl spitting and instant killing me. I don't know, it's because I've got a bunch of more endurance than I actually need. But for some reason or maybe it's just serendipity not proccing. But I'd rather not leave this one on chance. So that's 139, no crits, 360. Is that a reference to Xbox? It might be, since ZeniMax is Microsoft's bitch these days, isn't it? 429. 429 again. This might be it, folks. We might be able to do this before 12 minutes and 30 seconds, which is faster than a Gauss minigun, obviously. But the thing is with this is that it just goes to show you how garbage it is. Because I like to talk shit about the hunting rifle. I think it's a particularly garbage weapon, but in the right circumstances, it actually kills Earl faster than this end game weapon that you have to grind like 30 days doing the same menial tasks for. The game logic that Fallout 76 presents itself is really strange, because on one end you've got really high-tech stuff doing basically nothing to him, and then you've just got an arrow that's powered by a string that uses its what's the thing called? I know like this moving stuff is kinetic energy, but there's like another the energy of a rubber band. What's that called? I don't know. Is that kinetic as well? But yeah, you've got that, but then you've got a magnetically inducted charging rotary barrel thing that is less effective. So it's just, there's lots of just weird inconsistencies that probably wouldn't have been ever around if the weapons were in Fallout New Vegas. We always cite New Vegas as being the best Fallout, but we say it for a fucking reason, I'll tell you that much. And ammo count. We probably didn't use a whole lot at all. I didn't see what we had before we started, but if you want to pay attention to that, when I first pick it up on the wheel early during the fight, you might see it. But we've basically used nothing. And 308s, I mean, the game is kind of stingy when giving them to you, but it's kind of easy to pick up a lot. And if you're using a hunting rifle, then you don't need to worry about ammo at all. It's very efficient, it's just slow, and perhaps therefore a little bit boring, but it is possible to do it. Do I recommend it? No. Literally use anything else. Any automatic rifle is better than this. Hell, even this thing is probably going to do a faster kill against Earl Williams, which is funny because it's got basically nothing really that great on it. Cool. So here we are back on Spectacle Island with a chopper just vibing in the distance over there. And a random piece of power armor that I haven't bothered to move yet because I just use it from the same save. Also, I went and found a Christmas outfit. This is one of the more popular ones for obvious reasons, and this is only half of it. There's actually 2 outfits, but, you know, Christmas is near. Is it offensive if, I mean, it's just wearing red, right? That's all it is. It's not a... Anyways, so that was a hunting rifle, and I didn't think the hunting rifles could do it, but, you know, using this crit and just getting the guaranteed damage out of just the multiplicative stuff really seems to just push your damage output so much higher. And honestly, if I could do it with a bow, then a hunting rifle wouldn't have been too far behind, but in this case it was a little bit ahead because it was just better, like tap of the trigger and the bullet's already there rather than having to pull the string back and wait a few seconds before the thing's actually going to do max damage, which I think is cool. In terms of how they go versus each other, there's really no reason to use them both, but I'd probably, on balance, still back a hunting rifle simply because it's just better at range. Although, funnily enough, using the bows and vats is just a lot more effective because the range is a lot higher. You know, despite firing rounds, big 308 rounds from your rifle, it just has less range potency than a bow and arrow. Bethesda logic here really destroys my brain. I don't even know why I think about this stuff because I got no idea. So, goodbye everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave your I mean, we've done it with a hunting rifle. Maybe we could try something more stupid, or maybe there's something that you want another character to use, because I think Winter's had the last 2 or 3. So let's find something else, maybe. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Also, I won't be recording for a while because tomorrow, or today, as of this recording, is my last day at work, and there's going to be a work breakup party. So I'm going to get messed up, and it might take me a few days to recover, and it'll be Christmas by the time that I do recover, so videos might be scarce going forward. But if, in case I don't see you after Christmas or before Christmas, Merry Christmas, everyone! And if you say Happy Holidays, you've got no spine. Thank you very much for watching, guys.